Ladies and gentlemen, mental toughness is not something you are born with. It is something you build. It is forged in the quiet battles no one sees. It is shaped in moments when you are exhausted, discouraged, doubted, and tested, yet you choose to keep going anyway. Physical strength may impress people. Talent may open doors. Intelligence may create opportunities. But mental toughness is what keeps you standing when everything else tries to knock you down. Life does not get easier. Challenges do not disappear. Pressure does not politely step aside. If anything, as you grow, the challenges grow with you. The responsibility grows. The expectations grow. The weight grows. And without mental toughness, that weight will crush you. Mental toughness is the ability to stay calm in chaos, to remain focused in distraction, to stay committed when motivation fades. It is controlling your emotions instead of letting your emotions control you. Most people quit not because they lack ability, but because they lack endurance in their mind. They feel discomfort and assume something is wrong. They feel fear and assume they are incapable. They feel pressure and assume they are not ready. But understand this clearly. Discomfort is not a stop sign. Fear is not a weakness. Pressure is not a punishment. These are tests, and every test is an opportunity to strengthen your mind. A mentally tough person does not avoid pain. They understand that pain is part of growth. They do not run from criticism. They learn from it. They do not collapse under failure. They adjust and try again. Mental toughness begins with discipline, doing what needs to be done even when you do not feel like doing it, waking up when you want to sleep, training when you want to rest, studying when you want to scroll, staying consistent when results are invisible. Anyone can work hard when they feel inspired, but only the mentally tough can work hard when they feel tired, bored, or discouraged. Your mind will try to negotiate with you. It will say, "Not today." It will say, "You deserve a break." It will say, "This is too hard." And sometimes rest is necessary, but often that voice is simply resistance to growth. Mental toughness is recognizing that voice and choosing action anyway. It is understanding that your feelings are temporary, but your goals require long-term commitment. You will face rejection. You will face setbacks. You will face moments when nothing seems to go right. In those moments, your mindset will determine your direction. Do you complain or do you adapt? Do you blame or do you take responsibility? Do you quit or do you push forward? A mentally tough individual does not waste energy blaming circumstances. They ask, "What can I control right now?" Because control is power. You cannot control the weather. You cannot control other people's opinions. You cannot control unexpected obstacles. But you can control your effort, your attitude, your response. And that is enough. Mental toughness also means patience. Not everything happens instantly. Progress is slow. Mastery takes time. Growth is often invisible before it becomes undeniable. Most people give up because they expect quick results. They plant the seed and dig it up the next day to see if it's growing. But strength is built in silence. Progress compounds quietly. If you quit too soon, you never see the breakthrough. There will be days when you feel alone, days when support is limited, days when doubt feels louder than confidence. That is when mental toughness matters most, because real strength is built when no one is clapping for you. It is built in early mornings, in late nights, in sacrifices, in consistency without applause. Mental toughness is not about being emotionless. It is about emotional control. You can feel fear and still act. You can feel doubt and still move forward. You can feel pressure and still perform. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is action despite fear. When adversity hits, mentally weak people ask, "Why me?" Mentally tough people ask, "What now?" That small shift changes everything. One keeps you stuck in self-pity, the other moves you into problem-solving. Mental toughness requires self-belief, not arrogance, not ego, but deep, unshakable belief that you can improve, adapt, and overcome. You do not have to be the best in the room, but you must believe you can grow into something better than you are today. Growth requires discomfort, and discomfort requires resilience. If you avoid hard conversations, you weaken your character. If you avoid challenges, you weaken your confidence. If you avoid risk, you weaken your potential. The more you run from difficulty, the more fragile your mindset becomes. But every time you face something hard and survive it, you send a message to yourself, "I can handle this." And that message builds strength. Mental toughness also means letting go of excuses. Excuses feel comforting. They protect your ego. They explain away failure, but they also keep you small. Responsibility is heavier, but it builds power. When you say, "This is on me," you also say, "I can change this." Excuses create victims. Responsibility creates leaders. There will be moments when you feel like you have reached your limit, when your body is tired, when your mind is overwhelmed, when your heart is discouraged. That is not your limit. That is your comfort zone screaming. Your true limit is far beyond what your mind initially tells you. The human mind is wired for safety, not greatness. It wants comfort. It wants certainty. It wants ease. But greatness requires risk, uncertainty, effort. Mental toughness is training your mind to chase growth instead of comfort. It is choosing long-term success over short-term relief. It is understanding that temporary discomfort is the price of permanent progress. You cannot build a strong life with a weak mindset. You cannot achieve big dreams with small belief. You cannot expect extraordinary results from ordinary effort. Mental toughness demands that you raise your standards. Demand more from yourself, not in a way that breaks you, but in a way that challenges you. Hold yourself accountable. Keep your promises to yourself. Finish what you start. Because every time you break a promise to yourself, you weaken trust in your own discipline. And self-trust is the foundation of mental strength. Trust that when you say you will show up, you will. Trust that when things get hard, you will not fold. Trust that when doubt appears, you will not surrender. Mental toughness is consistency under pressure. Anyone can be positive when things are easy, but can you stay focused when things are uncertain? Can you stay disciplined when distractions are everywhere? Can you stay calm when others panic? That is strength. Life will test your patience, it will test your resilience, it will test your commitment, and every test is shaping you into someone stronger, if you allow it. Do not pray for an easy life, pray for a strong mind. Do not wish for fewer challenges, wish for greater resilience, because when your mind is strong, circumstances lose their power over you. You become adaptable, flexible, unshakable. Storms may hit, but you do not collapse. Pressure may rise, but you do not panic. Criticism may come, but you do not crumble. That is mental toughness. And here is the truth. You build it daily, through small decisions, through repeated discipline, through choosing growth over comfort. Every workout you complete when you wanted to quit builds it. Every difficult conversation you face builds it. Every setback you overcome builds it. It is not built in comfort. It is built in resistance. One day, you will face something that would have broken the old version of you, and you will handle it with calm focus. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. That is the reward of mental toughness. The world respects talent, it admires success, but it cannot ignore resilience. Resilience commands respect because it cannot be faked. It is earned. So when you feel pressure, lean into it. When you feel challenged, rise to it. When you feel doubt, confront it. Train your mind the same way you train your body. Feed it discipline. Challenge it with adversity. Strengthen it with consistency. Because in the end, the strongest muscle you will ever develop is your mind. And when your mind is strong, nothing can break you.